Travel planning is not that easy. Hi, it's Jen here, the editor of Men's Psyche, talking in this video about planning your next vacation or next holiday. It's not that easy with a lot of choices these days and a lot of decisions to be made. So we had a query from one of our readers from our website about how to work out where to go and when. And it's, as I said, not that easy with a lot of choice these days. Where to start? One place to start would be budget, because of course that would determine a lot of the elements of your next holiday. Luckily these days there are quite a few good options for people in most locations for any budget. So if you can plan in the correct season and you can plan different types of accommodation, for instance, most places are really available to people these days, which is fantastic. Deciding your budget and working out how much you want to spend each day and things like that is probably a good place to start for a lot of people. If that's not an issue for you, then one place to then think about is, would you like to time your travel and travel planning with an event, which a lot of people do? If you want to watch Wimbledon, of course, you're going to need to be in the UK in July. If you want to see cherry blossom season in Japan, naturally you are going to have to go April, May, the time that happens. So if you are wanting to travel for an event, that's going to make it very easy for you. The decision of when to go and where to go is already decided. So that's a good place to start for a lot of people. Another consideration might be the type of holiday that you want. Are you an adventure junkie? Do you want to just flop onto the sand and swim all day and not really move and just relax? Are you an explorer, a city adventurer? Hiking, trekking, shopping, all these different things. So what type of holiday would you like? This can also narrow down the choice for you. So it's a good place to start for most people deciding the style of holiday, and that will probably dictate where and when as well. The other issue for travel planning might be the seasonality, both in terms of weather and climate, and also in terms of the travel season, whether it's peak, off-peak, shoulder season. Obviously, there's a very large difference of cost depending on when you go. And for a lot of people, if you only get a small amount of holidays each year and you're on a limited budget, timing your trip for off-peak or shoulder season is an excellent idea. I've been on many vacations in the shoulder season, for instance, where it's not the peak time to be at that location. The weather may not be absolutely perfect, but it's certainly a lot less crowded. So it depends what your budget is, and also whether you like crowds or not, and whether you like the peak tourism season to be in full swing, or whether you're happy to go when there's no one around and it's possibly snowing or something like that. So definitely thinking about the season is another place to think about when you're doing a travel planning. Another issue for a lot of people is who to go with, and if you're in a couple, that may be obvious. If you have a family, of course, you might be doing family holiday, but there's also options for other people in terms of excellent solo options these days. Solo groups, in terms of you go single and then you join a group, or you can go completely by yourself. Obviously, backpackers have been doing that for a very long time, so it's nothing new. Group travel is an option for people too. Even if they're in a couple or a family, a group organised travel is sometimes an easy option. I mean, you don't want to leave work and then go on holidays and then have to do all the logistics. So sometimes an organised group might be a good idea for some people. So that's another thing to think about with your travel planning. It's not easy to do, especially if you only get limited time off work and you've got a lot of decisions to make. Trying to figure out where to go next. It's a nice problem to have. It's a very nice problem most people would want, to decide where they're going for their holiday, but there's a lot of things to take into consideration if you want to make the most of your short amount of holiday time that you have, and your budget, depending on what your budget area is. I'll leave some links below. We have a few articles on travel that you may be interested in. We have a nice article in terms of what to wear on a long haul flight. Those of you who are used to traveling, especially long flights, will know the horror of having to sit in those uncomfortable seats for hours. If you're not blessed enough to be in the first class suite, that is. So we have an article discussing fashion and style on long haul flights. I'll leave that below for some people that are interested in. We also wrote an article on traveling across India for different budgets. I think India is one of the best places to travel for a range of experiences and under a range of budgets as well. You can have a very excellent holiday in India for quite an affordable amount of money, as well as go up to the extreme luxury end of the market. So I'll leave that link below if you're interested in that article. And we have a popular template, a travel bucket list template, which you can download for your next session when you're planning. I find sometimes the planning the holiday a little bit more fun than the actual holiday itself. So see how you go with your next holiday and planning. Think about some of the things in this video in terms of which season is the best to travel. Do you want to time your holiday with an event? And think about who you want to go on the holiday with, if that's an option for you. But good luck anyway, and feel free to let us know how your next holiday goes. See you next time. Thank you. Please join us at menspsyche.com for more conversations, questions and answers. We hope to see you there.